Good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us here at Transwest Truck Trailer RV of Frederick, Colorado. My name is Michaela. This morning I'm taking you guys through a brand new 2025 Cimarron Norstar 2-horse straight load with the front tack. Like I said, this one is brand new, so we're going to go ahead and pull up that drawing and run through these dimensions together so you guys are familiar with the numbers. This one is Warmblood size at 7'7" tall. We are standard width at 6'10" wide, with it being your straight load. So on the floor, you're getting a 15 feet 9 inch floor length plus that 3-foot tongue. So 18 feet 9 inches from hitch to bumper. Your standard stall length in these straight loads is 82 inches. Underneath this trailer, we have two 3,500 pound axles. So you guys have your GVWR at 7,000 pounds. Your empty weight is going to be 3,450. So plenty of room to throw some weight on top of these axles after the trailer is considered. So lots of weight room for those bigger Warmbloods that we anticipate inside of this trailer. Starting up front at our front tack room though, with this one being that 2-horse straight load, you're getting your front door on the front part of your V-nose here. So you're looking at your standard 33 inch door on this one, but we still did opt for that fold down step. So you don't have that running board up here, but we did option that just because for convenience sake. I know it's not real far off the ground. It might get a little bit taller when it's hooked up to your truck, but still it's nice climbing in and out of these tack rooms with that fold down step. So keep in mind, if you guys are watching these videos for build process, build options, this is an upgrade, though we do it on most of our trailers. On your door itself, you're still going to get your sliding bus window, which is going to give your tack room a little bit of ventilation here, as well as your brush tray down below. I always love having the brush trays on these doors versus your door organizer. You cannot have both. There's not enough room on these doors for your door organizer and your brush tray. We option ours with that brush tray. You guys can choose either or, but this is my favorite just because of having the ability to hold so many items and still be able to clean it out. I always struggled with those organizers not being able to fully clean them with that mesh material. So these are nice because they have those drain holes in the bottom. You can really get a good clean on them for your spring cleaning and then fill them back up with all your stuff. But let's go ahead and step inside and take a look. As you guys step in, you'll notice that floor down there. This is going to be that black rubber mat flooring. So this is your same rubber stall mat that you're going to see inside of your stock area or your stall area back there. You guys will see it has that one seam right there. Just because they are rubber mats, they are cut to fit. So you're always going to end up with 1 or 2 seams depending on how big your front tack room is. This is going to be a step up or an upgrade from your full carpet option. And then one step up from this would be that seamless gray rubber tread flooring. That would just eliminate that seam there and fully seal up this floor for you. But starting over here, we have our full-size matching spare tire right here. Same aluminum wheel. You guys can rotate this in through your tire rotation program and get some good use out of it before you fully swap tires. And then over here, a lot of customers will ask, what is this? This is just going to be your breakaway battery system. So your battery is going to be in here for that breakaway system. It's just going to indicate or give power to that breakaway system. So when that cord does get pulled, it will turn those brakes on for you in case of an emergency. And then over here on this other part of our V-nose over here, we have another sliding bus window. We have some customers that will delete this option in the build process, especially if they do live on dirt roads and they're going to get a lot of rocks kicking back up at the front of their trailer. They do delete this. It's just not important to them. You're going to have one on the door over there for ventilation. We just like to show all the options, and standard your build does come with this window, so something to keep in mind there. And then up above that window up here, we have our clothes bar. So up here, you're going to get that same clothes bar we get up in the nose of our goosenecks, but you'll have it here. Just great having it over here because it's kind of unusable space right here. So all your clothes can hang over there. You could actually hang, you guys are horse showing out of this trailer, you can hang all your change of clothes, your garment bags up there, your shop bags. You guys are rodeoing out of this trailer, you can hang all your rodeo shirts up there. Also works as extra hanging space for bridles, halters, anything else that might not fit on all of your bridle hooks, you can store up there as well. But always nice to have more hanging space in these trailers. And then over here, you're going to find your saddle racks and your blanket bar. This is on a recessed post. So this post is actually built into the framework of your front tack. It is not removable, but all the pieces on that post are removable. So you guys can still take off your blanket poles here and your saddle racks if you wanted to delete these. Maybe you want to put your tack trunk over there instead, or you have it separate tack box for your English saddles or Western saddles and you want to store that over there and just have the wall space. You guys can do that. If you want to add more, you guys can add more as well. All the way up at the top is your option to either take these out or add more. But you guys can also slide these up and down anywhere on the track, same as your swing outs or your removable posts. So lots of versatility and options with this setup right here. Moving over to your partition wall, we do have one row of bridle hooks here with that carpet behind. You have the carpet behind to kind of protect your equipment, also protects this nice white sheeting. If you were to hang your bridles up against this sheeting here and they get to swaying back and forth as they do once you travel, it's going to end up leaving those black streaks. I know you guys are probably familiar with those. You'll see them in a lot of used trailers. So adding the carpet is protecting your tack, protecting your trailer, which is also going to help hold that resale value for you, and also keeping it a lot quieter for your horses. So thinking about a straight load right here, we're going to have our horses' heads on the other side of this wall. Their ears are going to be really close to this front tack room. So it's nice to have the carpet to really deaden that noise for them, versus you guys can hear so much louder this is. Even with just my gloved hand right here, you would think metal is going to be a whole lot different right there. So your horses will really appreciate that. If you're looking at building a trailer, you guys, carpeting the full partition wall is one of my recommended upgrades right there, just to fully protect this, especially if you are going to be setting up some tack trunks or anything up against this wall. Just nice to do a full carpet there. You guys can add some more bridle hooks. We can add length to this tack room as well. Some options to keep in mind. But as we work over here, we've got 2 more rows of bridle hooks. So you're going to have a high row and a low row. And we did carpet this full wall right here. So you'll have carpet behind those bridle hooks, carpet up against the floor if you did set something there. But again, hanging storage is really important with the amount of tack that I know I personally have. I think us horse people do tend to collect a lot more tack than we do horses, so nice to have all that space. And then over here, we do have our light switch right here. You guys probably saw that when you were checking out the bridle hooks. But this light switch is going to be working our light up here, up on the inside. It's one of our OptiBrite lights. You'll see it in the stall area as well. But giving you guys that visibility into this front tack room. That light is going to light up this front tack room really well. They are extremely bright. And then one thing I want to point out before we move on is going to be our tread bright on this trailer. So we have it set at 18 inches. That's kind of your standard right there. They also have an option to increase this to 24 or 36 inches. So I was talking about having the window on the opposite side of the nose there, and maybe you wanting to delete that if you travel on dirt roads a lot. And one of my last customers who built one of these did delete that window and then increased her tread bright to 36 inches, just giving the front of her trailer a little bit more protection. There's some build options for you guys. And then stepping around, you guys are very familiar with our 2-horse straight loads with a side ramp exit. This one's going to be our 2-horse straight load, just standard without the side ramp. We do option our straight loads with an escape door on each side, so that is not standard on these builds. That's an upgrade that we do, is we add one to each side versus just having one on one side. Then it gives you guys a lot more accessibility to your horses, a lot more versatility. We try and make these trailers fit everyone's needs as much as we possibly can. But you guys will think about having your horses, their chest bar is right here. So your horses' heads are going to be right here in this space. So it's nice to be able to just open your door and get in here. Maybe you want to offer them some water, you want to check on them, you want to fill hay nets or hay bags, you just want to see how they're riding. They're not going to be able to come out because of their chest bar right there. So you guys have this access door to get in here and do what you need to do from either side of the road, either side of the parking lot, or access to either horse. You don't have to pick one side or the other. This door is on my hold back right here, so they do hold themselves open there. And then you will notice we have 2 different latches on this one because there is this paddle latch inside, which, think about your horse head being right there, they can mess with that a little bit. So we do have a secondary latch on the outside in case they were messing with this. It's also going to lock with your butterfly latch right there. So even if they try and open that, they're not actually going to be able to open your door right there. Up above that door, we have a 16-inch awning LED light right there. So we're going to have one on each side. We did kind of favor it over these escape doors right here, so that way you had your visibility getting in and out, climbing up and down this running board step right here to get and check on them, but also it will give plenty of visibility over these tie rings as well because of where it's located. Within your escape door, you also have a drop-down window. So this is going to work just like our runaround trailers, just like our slant loads. You're going to have that drop-down window essentially at the head side because their heads are going to be right there. Because of that, we did have the jail bars in them as well, which you can also drop these. And with this trailer being 6'10" wide, you do have your running board, so you're very easily able to step up on that running board, hold your framework here, and check on them this way if you did not want to fully open that door. This can pop into its socket there and stay down as well when you travel down the road. It's not going to catch the wind and flap around on you. And then I always like to tell people that when they come shop our lot, again, they're very worried about a trailer not being theirs, a brand new trailer, and just being nice to it. So they try and hold the latch like this open as they shut it. That's not going to give it a good shut right there. You guys can see it'll still pop open. These trailers are made for horse people. Give it a good slam, give it a good shove shut there, and it's going to latch a lot better for you. Working our way backwards, we do have 2 tie rings on each side. So we'll have your 2 tie rings right here off of your front tack room if you tied right here. You guys can see even with our tail door open, we can still use and access that tie ring right there. And then this is just going to be part of our Dutch door setup around back. It's one of your tail windows right here. You guys can see it also does lock into place when it's open like this. So when you have that rear ramp up, you guys can travel with your tail windows open because they lock into place there. And then behind that, I'll just open this real quick for you guys to see. We do have an oversized sliding bus window back here. So if you do not want to leave the tail windows open, you have this window. It's going to open 50%, going to give you guys lots of good ventilation that way as well. That will be on both sides. And I did mention earlier, we are on 3,500-pound Dexter rubber torsion axles on this trailer. We did do the black spoke aluminum wheels. We can just do standard aluminum as well if you did not want the black. I always like the black on the white sheeting. It pops really well, but these are going to be 15-inch wheels. Well, we'll make our way around the back here. Check out our Dutch door setup. You guys can see right now it's fully opened up. Your tail windows or your tail doors are going to wrap around. They have these wraparound hinges that we see on a kind of our pen trailers or stock trailers. They're going to wrap all the way around so you guys can latch those open and drive down the road. And while we're on that subject, I'm just going to go ahead and lift this ramp up so you guys can see what it looks like if you were to drive with those open. So you're going to obviously latch that ramp in place, but this is kind of with the Dutch doors open, that airflow that you're going to get in there having it wide open like that. Maybe you're just traveling locally, you're running home from a horse show and they're hot and sweaty and you want to give them really good ventilation, you can do that. But then we have that rear ramp. You guys will have that option with your Dutch door setup. Another option, if you did not want this sort of setup where your ramp is built into your door, is you can do your standard 50-50 doors with that ramp over option. We did do padding on our butt bars and our chest bars, so that's an option for you there to do the full padding. And I really like, if you guys want to come check out this latching mechanism here, I really like this setup because having gloves, you can't really access your fingers very well, and it's super easy. You don't have to do anything with your fingers. There's no latches that you need to pull on or push on, and it's super safe. So you guys will think when you load your horse in here, you're going to have their butt right here. The last thing that you're going to want to be doing is standing behind your horse's butt trying to mess with any sort of pins or latches. You're going to be able to want to push them in. And think about this, you're actually pushing the butt bar into their butt with padding, and you're just going to be pushing it into place like that. That's all you need to do. So super safe, gets you pushed in there, and you can just back right away. You're not having to mess with anything that way. So I really like how safe this option is. As we step into this stall, we did do those rubber mats on the floor. You guys saw that up in that front tack. Let me see if I can pick one of these up. I can. Okay, and I only say that because we do wash these trailers, and you can see with how cold it is in Colorado, we got a little bit of ice going on. But there's going to be our solid aluminum floor underneath. And we did do the rubber mats on top. An upgrade from this is going to be worm flooring, where it's that pour in permanent rubber flooring. Does not give you seams like this. It would be seamless. So my horses like to paw in the trailer, and for me it's just a convenience thing, but also eliminates the worry of if they do paw and pick up that rubber mat and then they get shavings underneath that maybe have some urine on them. You're gonna have to pull these mats out. We recommend at least once a year, but if you have horses that do that, maybe after a couple good hauling weekends, a couple good travel weekends, you want to pull these out and clean out and make sure nothing gets to that aluminum floor. So worm flooring will kind of eliminate that, protect your floor, gives it a good cushion factor, and also adds an insulating factor. We have kick mats all the way around our walls, so if your horses are pawing or kicking, it's a little bit safer here with that rubber mat. And then up above, speaking of insulating the floor when you add worm flooring, we have the lined and insulate back here up above our kick mats, double wall lined and insulated. So your entire stall area back here is lined and insulated, plus your standard insulated roof on these Cimarrons. So your full stall area back here is insulated. This gives you an R3 thermal value, so it'll be 20 degrees warmer in the winter, 20 degrees cooler in the summer back here. Also very dent resistant up to a baseball size hail. Very important to mention here in Colorado. Also, if you guys ever needed to get up on the roof, think about your standard aluminum roofs. You're gonna have to make sure you're stepping on those roof bows when you're up on top. On these Cimarrons, you can walk wherever you want, full length, and not have to worry if you step in between them. It's very good as to that structural integrity as well. Each side is also gonna have your OptiBright LEDs. So you're gonna have one on each side up above your horse, shining down, so tons of visibility in your stall area back here. Also have that padded chest bar that works the same way. I just took this out, but again, I can very easily do all of this with my gloved hands. And then up here, we'll start with our head grill right here. It is currently locked into place this way. This guy also will lock it into place. So you have two locking mechanisms here. When you did want to swing this, if you want to swing it, you'll remove that locking mechanism. Again, I'm doing everything with my gloves. It's so easy on these trailers. And then our AR latch. I'm swinging it towards you guys so you guys can see this AR latch right here. It's very easy to use, just a little black knob right here. But you can slide this head grill over and lock it into place right here. Or you can swing it around the other way and lock it in place on the other side. I got my glove caught in it, but then it locks right back in the middle. Also above our horses' heads, we have two-way roof vents up here. So you guys can open them two different directions. If you want to be bringing some air in and then open some sliding bus windows to kind of pull it out, or you can just be using it to pop open facing backwards, and it draws a little bit of that hot air out if they were sweaty. That's a good option for there. Two tie rings, one on each side right here. So you guys can do a cross tie setup. If you want to do your cross ties right here to tie them in, you could tie them to one side, hang a hay net to the other side. You could also look at installing another tie ring up here. I've had a customer do that where she installed one up here to hang a hay bag right here, because that right there is going to hang right in front of their head. Their chest bar right here, this is their head space, so they can reach that one really well. Just some options to consider of what I've seen done. We did do the partial bar type airflow right here, so your horses can see each other, and the air is going to move really well through this divider. And then partial being it's not full stud wall to the ground. And we did that on this trailer because this divider is removable and also movable. It's not our traveling gate system that does not slide on a track. So we have a couple, like our side ramp trailers or other straight lugs that travel on that track system. This one, you would have to move it by hand. So that's why we kept it the partial, and the airflow keeps it a lot lighter. But you guys will notice we have our AR latch right here coming down into our post that sets into this black hard plastic piece right here. You guys will see a secondary piece over here. So this whole divider can be removed with those AR latches and stored over here on our right hand side. So your rear post installs right there, and then your forward post installs up here as well as up here. So you guys have the ability to store it over here. I'm not going to do it because I'm by myself in this video. I'm not going to ask our cameraman to help because then you guys can't see it. So it would be 2 people, 1 at each end. Just remove those AR latches and then store it over here, and it pops right back into place, giving you guys the option to have a full box stall in the back of this trailer. That is a great option if you are hauling mares and foals and you want to just give them a wide open space in here. Maybe you have one horse that you want to turn loose in here, rides better facing backwards, you guys can do that. If you need to haul maybe a side-by-side or an ATV, you're moving, you need to haul furniture. I just did that this spring and I used my Cimarron for that. Possibilities are endless. Again, I always say versatility with these trailers, giving you guys the options to use them how you need to use them is so cool that you have that option there. 6'10" wide back here, 7'7" tall inside. I'm 6 feet tall. You guys can see how much room this gives us. Plenty of head clearance in here for the Warmbloods. We also build them 7'10" tall if you needed a little bit more clearance. But I have had customers ask about width while we're here getting the full big picture. We typically don't add any more width to these stall areas because we have found, and our customer feedback has proven, that this is plenty wide enough for your thicker Warmbloods, your draft crosses, even your full draft horses. Adding width is just going to make it too wide where they're going to kind of bounce back and forth in there and don't have the stability of being confined to a stall like that. So kind of your standard width there, and then stall length, chest bar to butt bar is standard at 82 inches. We have again found and proven that is plenty long enough. We can also add length if you guys need longer. We can take away length. There actually had customers with the shorter backed Warmbloods, jumpers, kind of take some length away right there to give their horses more of that stability and confinement in a stall versus bouncing back and forth between your chest and your butt bars. Lots of information, but things to consider. We do have one of our 8-inch awning lights up top, so you got the visibility stepping in and out for your horses. And then you guys will notice I have our tail lights lit up right now with our reverse lights turned on. So that is new in your 2024s and your 2025s, that you have that white X in the middle. It's going to be in all of the tail lights moving forward. That's just a standard option now that it's built in, versus having your separate white lens reverse light. We have actually done a test when this initially came out. Cimarron comes to us for a lot of testing. We went and took 2 trailers in our wash bay, turned off all the lights, kept it black, backed them up to each other, turned these on, versus a trailer that just had your single rear clear white reverse lens, and found these to offer more light. So it gave better indication of reversing and also gives you better visibility back there when you are reversing. So nice to know that it actually has been tested and proven, and not just maybe an aesthetic feature or something silly like that. It actually works. Before we move around, I'm just pointing out right here on our rear post all of our light switches. Had customers ask me where those are located and I never point them out. So you guys are going to have quite a few switches back there that's working left hand, right hand, load light, and then interior lights. Stepping around, this side's going to look pretty similar to the other side with the exception of that front tack being located on our other side versus this side. Still going to have that fold around tail window. We'll still have our oversized bus window over their backs right here. We'll have 2 tie rings on this side as well, so you guys can tie on either side, which is kind of nice having that front tack up on the V part of your trailer because you can easily step around the tongue and get to this side as well. So you can tie on either side. You just never know where you're going to park, who you're going to park next to, or if you need to separate your horses. You have options. Our black spoke aluminum wheels on this side. Our same escape door on this side. Now I mentioned that on the other side, that is not standard. It's standard to just have one. We like to have 2. giving you guys options, versatility, accessibility inside of your trailer here. Up above, we have our other 16-inch awning LED light. So you have the visibility over the escape door, also over your tie rings. This door is also on a holdback, but I'll show you guys. It looks the same as the other one, meaning you're still gonna have your paddle latch, your butterfly latch, and your drop down window on this side as well. And then our holdbacks, if you guys want to check out our holdbacks, I'll point this out as well because I think these are a really smart version. Smart being that it does, one, fold away and tuck away, so less things that are protruding off the side of your trailer. If your horse were to be tied right here and then swing his butt around and kind of step up against this trailer, nothing is sticking out to poke out at him or her. But also too, because of this ball that's in there, you guys can see it's on a ball swivel system here, and you guys can see it's giving you a little bit more play. So when the wind does tug on it, it's got a little bit more forgiveness. And then finishing up front, here's that window from the exterior. This is the one that some customers might delete. If you want to, come standard. Nice if you don't live on a dirt road and that you have an extra ventilation getting inside of that tack room. And then another view of our 18-inch tread bright. Again, you can upgrade to 24 or 36. And then our 3-foot tongue up here, it actually is 6 inches longer than a standard manufacturer build, giving you guys a better balance and a better towing ability with this longer tongue. It's gonna pull a lot nicer for you, pull a lot better. And I was actually discussing this with a customer the other day, that all of these trailers go through their build process, which you saw in the beginning. We have our drawings as well as our spec sheets. This piece of paper will go to the engineers dedicated at Cimarron to reviewing these trailers before they ever go to the build process. They are checking all of these features. They're checking axle placement and what exactly is being loaded on this trailer to ensure that it is the most balanced and pull the best it can for you going down the road. So always nice to know dedicated engineers at Cimarron that review these before any construction starts. And then you'll see this funny little box up here. I just have a battery right here, and I just have my 7-pin plugged in as if it were plugged into a truck. And I'm just showing you guys my marker lights and my reverse lights and giving a little bit battery power to show you those awning lights as well, so you can see them in action versus me just telling you about what they do. You guys can see exactly what they look like if they were plugged into your truck. Standard manual crank right here with your 2 5/16" ball. Speaking of that 3-inch tongue, we've had many customers haul these bumper pulls behind RVs with this tongue. But if you're looking at building a trailer, know that we can increase length to get to 3'6". If you guys needed more length, more clearance between your RV and your trailer, we can also beef up that bumper pull hitch and give it an adjustability factor as well if you needed to adjust height behind an RV. So again, build options to consider. I like to make these videos as most informative as I can, but again, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. You can reach out regarding a build or this specific trailer. My contact info is on my clipboard, but also on your screen. That is my personal cell phone. It's 303-918-6367. You guys can call or text that number. My email, Michaela.Hall@transwest.com. Your stock number for this specific trailer, which is still available, is going to be 5N241303. You guys can see it's a 2025 Cimarron Norstar 2-horse bumper pull. Just came in last week. If you guys have any questions, you have my contact info now. Feel free to reach out, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Happy Monday.